In this video, Northern Brewer exposes the centuries-old myth about modern floor malted grain. You'll learn the truth about how floor malt is actually made, why we've been brewing with it all wrong for hundreds of years, and will brew a proper floor malted beer. Hi, Daniel with Northern Brewer St. Paul here. In the home brewing world, we get a lot of information handed down from generation to generation. Some of it true, some of it false, some of it wildly inaccurate. Well, one such bit of information has been handed down from generation to generation, almost since the beginning of brewing itself. And it turns out it's been nothing but a game of telephone. A mistranslation here, a mispronunciation there, a misunderstanding after misunderstanding. What we've discovered at Northern Brewer is going to turn the world of beer upside down. Not just home brewers, but professional brewers and malt houses alike. It all started when I was doing a little bit of research for a class we were holding on floor malt. I was pulling books from the Northern Brewer Library when I stumbled across something mysterious. It was a page of notes from a former Northern Brewer employee, Dr. Kristen England, current professional brewer, beer historian, and BJCP educational director. He had discovered something astounding. Luckily, I was able to track Chris down and ask him about his findings.
I get questions all the time about historic beer, the way that people used to make stuff, and the thing that I can tell you through and through is that the only thing that follows a line from way back into Babylonian times to now is that people are f***ing cheap. You'll never meet cheaper than brewers. Back in the day, they used to reuse hops. There was places that would take beer and pour it back into casks. There's even an invention whether you poured a cask beer, it would go in the drain and fill back into the casks. Good Lord, in floor malting, home brewers, you've got it all wrong. You thought that it was this beautiful agrarian dream where you harvest your own barley and you steep it and you germinate it and you put it on the floor and you built your kiln outside and you get it all dried up and perfect. You make your own beer with it. That's not what happens. This was the stuff, the boogers, the crap that fell off the mill, all the stuff that got swept. Think of these giant breweries, all that leftover dust and stuff. They swept it all up and put it inside. This is the truth. I challenge all of you to live the truth, try the truth. I challenge you. And all of these homebrewers are now thinking, this is going to be a great experiment. I'm going to do this. It's going to be fine.
Eureka! I felt like I'd struck brewer's gold. Armed with this new understanding and appreciation for floor malt, I got to work. Here at Northern Brewer St. Paul, we've got no shortage of true floor malt. We sweep the grain room multiple times a day. All kinds of grains pile up. Base grains, adjunct grains, flaked malts. Most of this goes into the dumpster every day, but never again. I was able to save up 54 pounds of grain that would have gone into the trash. There was a large amount of dark malt in this mystery grist. I figured we might make something dark and hearty, maybe a porter. So we set out to brew the modern era's first ever Floorter, an authentic floor malted porter. We mashed in the mystery grist at 154 degrees. It was quite a thick mash as well. The wort was immediately dark. Weird foam kicked up on top of the mash. From dusty grain, the runoff was inky and dark. It looked like motor oil. So, were we going to stop with just floor malt? No, we didn't want anything to go to waste. So we reached out to our team at our warehouse and we saved hops that would normally get swept up and thrown away during the packaging process. That's right. Not only are we brewing the first modern floor malted porter, but we're using floor hops as well. We drew the line at floor yeast. We didn't want something to go wrong after all of this effort that we put in. So we went to the fridge and grabbed a couple of our favorite packets. The brew day went smooth. We ended up packaging 10 gallons in all.
What's a floorter?
I gathered all of the malt off the floor and I brewed a porter with it.
Oh!
That's disgusting.
Delicious. 1062 down to 1010. Cleanly fermented. Wonderful notes of chocolate, just a hint of roastiness. No foot, no dust bunny, no who knows what. But as the brewer, I'm a little bit biased. We all are. So we brought in a couple of BJCP certified judges for a blind taste testing. They have no idea what they're getting into tonight.
I think it's smoky. I get phenolics. It's like inky, dark, leathery, some dark fruit, figgy.
Yeah, first nose was a little bit fruity,
Yeah.
but now that I'm drinking it, I'm getting roast. I'm getting a lot of roast, but I'm not getting like a burnt.
And it's quite dark. It's opaque.
Roasted malt's prominent. Hops are in the background for me.
Toasty, rich, full-bodied, smooth. I think there's a little smoke there.
Clean bitterness. Clean. Yeah, I think it's like a medium mouthfeel body. I don't see anything out of place for me.
No, it's
like if
it's.
someone just gave this to me, I would think, okay,
I would think like smoky
normal
stout.
Yeah, normal stout. I don't think it is strong enough to be an imperial stout. I don't get a lot of alcohol on it. It's not a sweet stout. It's definitely dry, and I think it's too roasty to be an American porter. So I'm not really sure where I would put it.
Smoked stout. No, it's completely enjoyable, drinkable beer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spit it out. I haven't spit it out.
It's probably an ingredient. It's probably a malt or a way a malt was used, but I really can't pick up anything.
I swept up 54 pounds of malt from the floor of the green
God,
and then brewed 10 gallons of beer with it.
we used to joke that you guys did that.
To top it off, I had the warehouse sweep up a couple bags of hops dust off the floor during packaging day. I
Okay,
used that for the
so
beering.
this then okay. Talk about brewing process, and then talk about like how you actually packaged it and managed it too, because it doesn't seem mishandled.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I get some dust in there.
No, I mean
few
I think
mouse
it's
droppings.
I'm like sure it's something dark and maybe not. I can't put it on a style, but that's fun. I just think that you're probably a good brewer and handler of whatever work comes out of wherever.
Waste not, want not.
I'm surprised, and it makes me feel really good about like the sack of grain I just left in the basement. And I have no worries. I mean, I'm just gonna say like this is absolutely drinkable. It's better than some of my beers starting out.
Now that I think about it, though, I mean, knowing the wide range of people that come in and what they buy, it makes sense. Here, I thought you were going to unleash
I
some
wanna, yeah, I know.
specialty ingredient upon us or
I
something.
know, or a weird. I thought they were gonna do
Yeah.
like some kind of weird process, and I mean, it is a weird process. I'm happy that you kept it from us, and yeah, just got to see that beer can just be beer, and
Yeah, in terms of what source of fermentables, as long as it's not contaminated, nasty, I think that range of what you can and can't do is probably wider than people think it should be. Florida forever.
yeah, to the Florida.
There you have it. Northern Brewer moving the industry forward yet again. If you've got a mill at home, go ahead and try your own floor malted beer. Hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think and how it turned out. Once again, thank you for tuning in. See you next time, and cheers, everyone.
Authentic floor malted Florida? I cannot believe they fell for that. Yeah, I can. Homebrewers. Seriously.